Payment and Settlement System, New Age Clearing. Payment system is a mechanism that facilitates transfer of value between a payer and a beneficiary by which the payer discharges the payment obligations to the beneficiary. Payment systems include instruments through which payments can be made, rules, regulations, and procedures that guide these payments, institutions which facilitate payment mechanisms, and legal systems, etc., that are established to facilitate transfer of funds between different participants. In this lesson, we discuss various payment and settlement systems in vogue in India. It follows from the previous slide that after studying this lesson, you should be able to know about the payment and settlement guidelines, define EFT, ECS, and RTGS, etc., understand the role of RBI in payment system, describe the check transactions. Electronic funds transfer is a system whereby anyone who wants to make payment to another person or company, etc., can approach his bank and make cash payment to give instructions or authorization to transfer funds directly from his own account to the bank account of the receiver or beneficiary. Complete details such as the receiver's name, bank account number, account type, bank name, city, branch name, etc. should be furnished to the bank at the time of requesting for such transfers so that the amount reaches the beneficiary's account correctly and faster. The RBI is the service provider for EFT. EFT is a faster mode of transfer of funds which facilitate transference of funds within 24 hours. It is a customer-savvy process as no paperwork is involved and delay is witnessed. There is absolutely no requirement for the beneficiary to go to the bank since the beneficiary's account is credited automatically. Inbuilt security systems ensure safer mode of transference of funds. Electronic clearing service is a retail payment system that can be used to make bulk payments or receipts of a similar nature, especially where each individual payment is of a repetitive nature and of relatively smaller amount. This facility is meant for companies and government departments to make or receive large volumes of payments rather than for funds transfer by individuals. The ECS is further divided into two types: ECS credit to make bulk payments to individuals or vendors, and ECS debit to receive bulk utility payments from individuals. Though RBI has waived all its processing charges to the banks for present, the banks are free to charge a fee from their corporate customers for use of this facility. As an NRI, an individual can remit funds into India through normal banking channels using the facilities provided by the overseas bank. Alternatively, an NRI can also remit funds through authorized money transfer agents. Ordinarily, the transaction among banks would be for large values. Hence, such transactions are called as large value fund transfers. The actual transfer of funds will take place through the accounts which the banks maintain with the RBI. For this purpose, banks can give checks drawn on their account maintained with RBI to one another, which will then be processed through the clearing house. Alternatively, they can also make use of large value payment systems called as real-time gross settlement system, where funds transfer takes place instantaneously based on electronic instructions, just like EFT in the case of individuals and companies. Manual clearing includes the paper-based manual process. It takes a lot of time and human resource. Manual clearing is used in remote area branches which are not connected with other branches. MICR stands for Magnetic Ink Character Recognition. In MICR technology, the information is printed on the instrument with a special type of ink which is made up of magnetic material. On insertion of the instrument in the machine, the printed information is read by the machine. MICR system is beneficial as it minimizes chances of error, clearing of checks becomes easy, and transfer of funds becomes faster in order to facilitate operations. Banks have networked their branches by implementing core banking solutions. In CBS environment, checks can be paid at any location, obviating the need for their physical movement to the drawee branch. The concept of speed clearing combines the advantages of MICR clearing with that of CBS. Checks drawn on outstation CBS branches of a drawee bank can be processed in the local clearing under the speed clearing arrangement if the drawee bank has a branch presence at the local center. Check truncation is a system of check clearing and settlement between banks based on electronic data or images, or both, without physical exchange of instrument. It may be defined as the replacement of the physical check flow with electronic information. Key benefits of check truncation include efficient and streamlined processing of images, elimination of transportation of physical check, shorter clearing cycles, extended cutoff time for check submission, real-time clearing positions available to banks throughout the day, economies of scale with centralized national image archive, automated inward signature verification process, fraud prevention measures, kiting made difficult, blacklisted accounts flagged, built-in anti-money laundering features. RTGS stands for Real-Time Gross Settlement. RTGS system is a funds transfer mechanism where transfer of money takes place from one bank to another on a real-time and on gross basis. This is the fastest possible money transfer system through the banking channel. Settlement in real time means payment transaction is not subjected to any waiting period. The transactions are settled as soon as they are processed. Gross settlement means the transaction is settled on one-to-one basis without bunching with any other transaction. Considering that money transfer takes place in the books of the Reserve Bank of India, the payment is taken as final and irrevocable. The RTGS system is primarily for large value transactions. The minimum amount to be remitted through RTGS is Rs 1 lakh. There is no upper ceiling for RTGS transactions. On a typical day, RTGS handles about 14,000 transactions a day for an approximate value of Rs 1.5 crores. The RTGS system ensures settlement finality in the books of the Reserve Bank on a real-time basis, thereby providing confidence to the sending bank as well as the receiving bank that the payment transaction has been completed and the receiving bank can make use of the funds so received immediately. Under normal circumstances, the beneficiary branches are expected to receive the funds in real time as soon as funds are transferred by the remitting bank. The beneficiary bank has to credit the beneficiary's account within 2 hours of receiving the funds transfer message. The remitting bank receives a message from the Reserve Bank that money has been credited to the receiving bank. Based on this, the remitting bank can advise the remitting customer that money has been delivered to the receiving bank. The receiving bank credits the account of the beneficiary instantly. If the money cannot be credited for any reason, the receiving bank has to return the money to the remitting bank within 2 hours. Once the money is received back by the remitting bank, the original debit entry in the customer's account is reversed. The RTGS system is also used for customer transactions. No minimum or maximum limit has been fixed on such transactions so far. The RBI, apart from the role of regulator and supervisor of payment system, also plays the role of a settlement bank apart from being a catalyst, an operator and a user. Check clearing system has vastly improved. Time taken for collecting a local check has reduced to 2 or 3 days. Variants of electronic payment products like electronic clearing service helped large corporate bodies to pay their dividend, interest and refunds electronically on the due date. Extension of electronic funds transfer facility by the banks has altered the money transfer scenario. Using the EFT infrastructure laid by the Reserve Bank, commercial banks have started offering same-day funds transfer facility to their customers. Launching of RTGS system by RBI has added a new dimension to EFT scenario. Corporate bodies and other bank customers have now the option to transfer funds to designated branches instantaneously. There has been a rapid growth in installation of ATMs in the country. Bank customers can now access their accounts for withdrawal of cash, deposit of cash, balance enquiry, requisition of checkbooks, issue of stop instruction, etc. on 24/7 basis. Last but not the least, in the last 3 or 4 years, there has been a phenomenal growth in use of payment cards as a payment medium in the country. The increasing use of cards is not only due to the safety and convenience aspect but on account of retail consumer boom which has taken place in the country. Now let us check if we have understood the various concepts discussed in this lesson clearly. Under RTGS, specific type of paper is used for printing the check. Right or wrong? Wrong. MICR stands for Magnetic Ink Color Recorder. Right or wrong? Wrong. Electronic clearing service is a retail payment system. Right or wrong? Right. Before we end, let us briefly revise what we have studied till so far. Payment systems are used by individual banks, companies, governments, etc. to make payments to one another. Payments can be made in India in the form of cash, check, demand drafts, credit cards, debit cards, and also by means of giving electronic instruction to the banker who will make such a payment on behalf of his customers. Electronic payments can be made in the form of electronic funds transfer, electronic clearing service for small value repetitive payments, and through real-time gross settlement system for large value payments. A few banks in India have begun to offer certain banking services through the internet that facilitate transfer of funds electronically.